Welcome to the Untangled Blueprint, Lesson 22, the one where you have faith. Here we are, the final lesson of the Untangled Blueprint. You're here today, standing on the edge between two lives, the one you finally untangled yourself from, and the one that's just beginning to take root deep inside your bones. You have done the work. You have shown up lesson after lesson, truth after truth, layer after layer. You've challenged old beliefs, rewired old patterns, and planted new seeds of possibility in your lives. Now, here you are, with the untangled blueprint etched into your heart and everything you need to co create and live the feel good life that you've cleared the way for and have been cultivating in your mind. Before I created these final two lessons, I paused and I asked myself, with all that you've learned and done and created here, how could you possibly fail? I really tasked myself with going deep and really making sure I covered everything I could think of. I knew there were a few more tools I wanted to share, which I'll be doing tonight. But then I decided to ask my new friend, ChatGPT, to see if there was anything else I might have missed. So I prompted him with this question I felt in my soul. Despite everything these women have learned, embodied, and created in this program, what are the top reasons they might still stop doing the work and never fully become the version of themselves they envisioned just 1 year from today? And he gave me 7 solid answers, 7 sneaky, subtle patterns that could show up, that could creep in if you aren't paying attention. None were a surprise to me. I've almost been coaching for a decade. And so I know what it looks like for people that are trying to create a life that feels good. Well, my final 2 transformation tools are going to be included in these 7 reasons you might not end up creating your feel good life. In this final lesson, I decided that I want you to personally walk through each one of these 7 things. And I'm not just going to name them. I'm going to go through the exact process that you can use to prevent them from stealing the life of your dreams. This isn't going to be a recap. It's the final piece of your Untangled Blueprint. The next few pages of your resiliency roadmap are going to be filled in. And by the end of this lesson, you really are going to have absolutely everything you need without a shadow of a doubt to keep going beyond this blueprint. So here we go. The number one reason that you might not create your feel good life is you procrastinate. You delay what matters most, your dreams, your healing, your desire, because you believe you'll do it when things calm down or when the timing is right. But the truth is, we all know that the timing will never be fully right. Life will always offer a reason for you to put things off, to wait. And we also know that waiting is how we talk ourselves out of the life we actually want and fall into that other life that we just work so hard to untangle ourselves from. The reasons we procrastinate, we've covered so many in this workshop. We have fear of failure. That sounds like, what if I mess up? What if I'm judged? What if I'm not good enough? We have fear of success. That sounds like, what if everything changes and I can't handle the change? What I know is fear can be paralyzing, especially when we're already stretched thin. But we also procrastinate out of overwhelm and perfectionism. When the task list is never ending, the pressure to get it all just right makes it all feel impossible. We procrastinate because we get stuck on where to go next. We now know that without clear, actionable steps, it is so easy to delay actions, which then delay our dreams. We procrastinate because we're tired or we don't protect our time. And we procrastinate a lot because we have that little voice that's whispering to us, who do you think you are? And procrastination becomes a way to protect ourselves from being found out as the imposter that we think we are. But luckily for us, we've already got the tools to handle most of these reasons for procrastination. We've worked through our fears. We've uncovered so many of the limiting beliefs behind perfectionism and even imposter syndrome. We've prioritized our lives to reduce the overwhelm and protect our time and our energy. And we've created a very worthy work action plan that eliminates the confusion of unclear goals or knowing what exactly we have to do next. So, really, what's left? Why else would we procrastinate? The only reason left is that we aren't motivated. Sometimes, even when the path is clear, when you know what to do, when you are even crystal clear on why you want to do it, and you feel like you want to move forward, you can still hit a wall. That wall is, I just don't feel like it. And if your feel good statement isn't enough to move you through that moment, I've got you. I'm going to give you my favorite tool to beat procrastination. It's from the great Mel Robbins, and it's called the 5 4 3 2 1 method. You don't need to read the whole book to use it, although the book is absolutely fantastic. You just need to trust the science and try it. So, the science is that it's rooted in behavioral psychology and neuroscience, my two favorite topics. It's designed to activate the part of your brain responsible for decision making, your prefrontal cortex. And it also creates a powerful mind body connection by combining mental focus with physical action. So, here's how it works. First, you recognize you're procrastinating. This is the magic moment. It's awareness. We've already learned how powerful awareness is on every single step of this journey together. It's the power of now, just like Eckhart Tolle told us it was. So you become aware, you notice you're procrastinating, and then you just start your countdown. It's easy peasy from there. You just count backwards 5 4 3 2 1. Why? Because this countdown is going to interrupt negative thought loops and create a window of clarity for you. So much can happen in those 5 short seconds. At 5, you're going to start. But at 4, you're going to physically or mentally jump in and purposefully interrupt the negative thoughts. If you need to get up and move physically at this point, great. Otherwise, you can just move mentally by shifting your mindset. At 4 is where you can remind yourself of your why. Think about your statement or even apply the what I know is part of the feel good formula here to tell yourself some truth to get you moving. Next, you get to 3. This is where you activate decision making. This is where you choose or decide. Remember, kill all other options. At 3, you are making a plan for how you're going to move through this procrastination, and you know what happens at 1. At 2, you initiate the action. You move, you pick up the phone, you open the document, you get out of bed, you write the first sentence, you start cooking. Whatever it is that you were procrastinating against, you just begin. And at 1, we're taking immediate action. We are fully in motion. We've started and set a time frame for when we will be done, at the very least, committing to finish the task at hand, or using the rock rule and finding a place where you know you're going to finish it within the next 24 hours. That's it. 5 4 3 2 1 go. It's that simple and that powerful. This method has changed the lives of millions of people, including myself. From the morning alarm clock to the yoga class to the writing of lessons, calling of clients, closing of a sale, handling a tough conversation, the 5 4 3 2 1 method works. Okay, that's your transformation tool number 1 for the night. Now we're moving on to the next reason why you might not reach your goals. And that is you should all over yourself. Actually, number 2 and 3 on the list, they really could stand in your way of reaching your full potential and living this feel good life, but both could come with one solution, your feel good statement. Let's start here with number 2. If you're still living a shitty life, even after everything you've untangled, there may still be moments where you find yourself living according to someone else's script. You catch yourself saying, I should do this, or I should be more like that. We've covered this from literally every angle, the 4 agreements, the feel good formula, even the victim triangle. And here's the simple question that can unravel any should. Who said so? And if that answer is anyone other than you, your wise self, then guess what? It's not your truth. But what if that voice is you? What if the one that's telling you you should is you? Well, it's one of your protective parts, your inner manager or firefighter trying to take the wheel and steal you away from discomfort, growth, or even joy. And that's when you come back to the feel good statement. That sacred declaration was written by you when you were in the form of your truest, wisest self, the one who dreamed up your most aligned and joyful and fulfilled life. It was written in clarity, in vision, and in truth. So let that be the version of you that makes the call. So if you find yourself shooting all over yourself, again, return to your statement, read it, speak it, live it, because your soul didn't come here to live someone else's version of success. You were made to feel good, and that is what should be guiding you. Okay, this is your new truth. And we're going to move on to solution to number 3 as well, because it's the same solution. Well, one of them anyway. Number 3 is you have an upper limit problem. So this one might be new to some of you. You may not have heard this term before because it usually doesn't show up until you've already done a lot of the growth work and are well on your way to the best damn version of yourself you could ever imagine. You can see it, you can taste it, you can feel it. You are it sometimes. And then it happens. You doubt, you shrink, you start to pull back, you self-sabotage. You are now single-handedly responsible for dimming and putting out your own light. Sometimes you don't even realize it's happening. This book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendrickson, is one of the most amazing books you can possibly read because he talks about how this upper limit problem can happen to people in all walks of life. Athletes, actors, entrepreneurs, healers, creatives, stay-at-home moms, coaches, anyone who is on the edge of expansion. Why? Because deep down, there is still a part of you that believes you don't deserve it, that you're not allowed to have this much joy or love or money or peace or freedom or fill in the blank of whatever it is you are gathering an abundance of. But here's the truth. You do deserve it. You always have. And when the upper limit problem shows up, you have to be ready to shut it down because only you can do it. So when you feel yourself starting to self-sabotage your own success or your own joy, this is the moment you reach for your feel-good statement again. When the self-doubt kicks in, you let those words remind you of who you are becoming and why you are becoming her. You say it until your nervous system calms down and your fear response relaxes. You say it until that level of joy feels safe to you again. You say it until your body believes you deserve every word of that declaration because you do. Your feel good statement isn't just something you wrote, it's the antidote to your upper limit problem. It's your lifeline back to your truth because here's the thing. When you push through the ceiling of your upper limit, and you will push through that ceiling, when you don't shrink, when you don't retreat, when you don't sabotage, you launch. And then there is no going back. You were not born to survive. You were born to shine. And once again, your statement is going to help you do just that. Okay. So the next reason is that your mindset isn't energetically aligned with your goals. We all know by now that you cannot create a new reality with the same thoughts and energy that created your old one. That's what we worked so hard at changing. And you definitely can't create a new reality by making decisions that don't align with your goals. If your energy is full of fear and lack and resentment or doubt, worry, anxiety, overwhelm, you name it, your vision can't flow. This is when you turn to one of the most important untangled principles. This is where you pause, you ponder, and you proceed. You pause long enough to become aware of your state. You ponder where you are on the emotional ladder and you name it. And then you proceed in a way that realigns you with the version of you that you are becoming, not the fear that's pulling you down. This is where you ask, do I need a new path or a new perspective to help me climb this ladder? This is the feel good formula. It's designed to help you feel good and align you with other things in your life that also feel good. Remember it, practice it, use it because your mindset is either your magnet or your muzzle. You choose. Number 5, you don't revisit your tools. We spoke about this in the last lesson, and it is worth saying again. You're leaving the Untangled Blueprint with a trunk full of tools, tools to help you navigate any crash, roadblock, storm, or detour that your journey of life might bring you. Each of the transformation tools in your toolkit is clearly explained and outlined. Each came with an exercise helping you implement it, embody it, and lock it into your brain. But let's just say you forget them all and you find yourself stuck on the side of the road. Well, that's your signal. Go open the trunk, grab your toolkit, rummage through it, see what tools jump out at you. Let your wise self lead the way back to the moment you learned each of those tools inside that toolkit and let it guide you to which one you need in that moment. And just like that, you'll be back on the road. That's what your toolkit was designed for, and it is yours forever. The next reason is 6. You don't create space for reflection. This one's easy because we just worked on it together. And while it might feel similar to number 5, not revisiting your tools, this one has its own solution. We created a worthy work action plan designed for just this. Reflecting is so important because it reminds you not only where you were, but how far you've come. And it gives you a chance to celebrate your progress every single step of the way and a chance to pivot if you need to. When you stop reflecting, the world gets loud again. Before you know it, you're reacting instead of intentionally living. You don't even know how or why it started, but suddenly you're off track, you're off course, and you're off balance. That's exactly why you created your worthy work action plan. You knew something like this could happen. So you made a plan and you filled it with love and intention and clarity so that the future you would have a roadmap to come back to. All you have to do now is revisit it, refine it, make space to reflect, recharge, and realign. You're supposed to be checking in weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. What's working and what's not? And if you fall off that pattern, that's okay, because this isn't just a checklist. It's your soul's blueprint for staying untangled. It's the most powerful tool in your resiliency roadmap. So please do not forget it's there. And please pay attention to it weekly, monthly, quarterly. And if you find that you're missing it, go back and visit it again. And the last reason that you might not reach your goals, even after all that you've learned, and this one is the most important one, it's that you lose your faith. This one can change everything. You stop believing that life is happening for you. You start fearing the unknown again. You grip tightly to what is again, or what you want things to be again, and you try to control it all. But here's a truth that can set you free. You are always either being corrected, directed, or protected. Everything is always happening for you. When things are going beautifully, have faith that it's happening for you. When things feel like they're falling apart, have faith that it's actually happening for you. When you don't know what's coming next, have faith that it's actually working for you. When we first started this program, I introduced you all to the 4 fundamental truths that I have based my entire coaching practice on. They are: 1, a powerful guiding divine source exists. 2, we were created by that source and are of that source. 3, that source is good all the time. Therefore, we are designed to also be good all the time. And 4, everything in our lives is meant to help us align to that source and to that greatest good. And hopefully by now, you can see that when you live from these truths, after all of this untangled work you've done, you don't fear the future. You don't shrink when life stretches you. You remember who you are. You remember to return home, how to return home to yourself. And you remember to have faith that everything in life happening for you. So tonight, I have one final tool. It's designed to help you align to that faith on a daily basis. It's called the Divine Align Dialogue. And it's adapted from a beautiful prayer process that I discovered in a book called I Heard God Laugh, which is basically about how we make plans for our lives and God laughs. It's there to remind us to allow life to happen for us. Because the truth is, when we're divinely aligned, We can't control any of it. We just have to allow it. Here's how it works. As a daily reflection, either in the morning or at night, you're going to connect with the universe, your source, your highest self, or your God. And you're going to follow this process. 1, you start with gratitude. You thank the divine for what you're most grateful for today. 2, you move to awareness. In your mind's eye, you revisit the moments in the past 24 hours when you were and weren't your best self. And then you ask, what happened? What am I supposed to learn from this? And what's next? Next, you revisit significant moments in the past day. Reflect on anything that stuck with you or maybe even left you uncertain. You ask yourself, what might the universe be trying to communicate to me through a person, an event, an experience, or an encounter that I had today? Next, you ask for awareness. Ask that in the coming day, you will become more aware of what you're being invited to notice in your life so that you can step more confidently into your highest self. After that, you ask for peace. Peace in allowing the direction of your life to flow freely and unfold exactly as it's meant to be. And for the reassurance that life is indeed always happening for you. And finally, you lift someone else up. You ask yourself, who could use a wink, a word, or a wave in your life? And you send an energetic message their way. You share the gift. And then you let all of the answers come to you. You trust what you hear or see or feel, because this dialogue will keep you grounded and guided and aligned with what matters most. And with that, my friends, this is the end of our lesson today and the end of all of our lessons in the Untangled Blueprint. You now have everything you need to go out into the world and live your feel-good life. This is not the end. It is the new beginning. You are now fully ready, fully worthy, and fully untangled.